Name's Buck. Hope you didn't have trouble finding my place. Oh, well now it's your place, I guess. This quaint little hub was Buck's taxi. But I'm getting too old for other people's problems. Ha! Gotta smooze and prattle. Probably made a few enemies. Sorry, to get this transaction over with, you'll need the tablet paired to the vehicle. It's updated to the latest OS, but I need to delete a few apps. A couple of personal ones. While I'm deleting, you should get comfortable. There's a little knob on the workstation to adjust how close it sits to the chair. Then use the handles to glide the workstation closer or farther. When it's comfy, rotate the knob back to the lock icon. The control system is pretty much the same in the taxi. The fully upgraded matchy-matchy model. Here you go. Tablet is set to a new user and ready to be dropped onto the workbench. The tablet syncs with your taxi, so each ride, including tips and bills, will load up in this room. This pretty thing is your brand new license, ready to pair with the taxi systems. I know it seems odd to move at 2 feet, but the people in charge are a backward paperwork circus. It needs a quick scan. Just move your new license over to the scanner found on the right side of the workbench. Congratulations! You have your learner's permit. Now I can legally sell you the business and run through training. You could just figure it out, but we humans ought to stick together. Here's the bill. And I'm gonna be firm on the price. May seem like a lot, but keep in mind, you're getting the place and a reputable turnkey. A pleasure. You're now the proud owner of the only customized human-controlled vehicle in Progress Point. Time to start your first shift. Time to start your first shift. All right, let's move. You might have an ID, but you still need the test. Let's head to the scrapyard. I'll dump the spare taxi parts. It's a shame I can't sell them to you, but tech law says you can only start your route at stops previously visited to prevent you from going to restricted areas. You'll be ticking off stops in no time. It ain't safe out there, but I'm glad someone is still willing to fight the rise of autos. Even if it is... some fresh air. Testing. 1, 2. Can you hear me in the taxi? Technology. I swear, anytime I employ a human coder, it never works. Equal opportunity program always sends me the worst. Oh, then we can continue. As for the error on the screen, well, I wasn't completely honest. The taxi's a messy retrofit, so it pulls energy in unconventional ways. Internal power for the engine, but the instruments are powered by the driver, who's usually a bot. In order for a human to drive, you need mods, which is gonna cost a bit more. It's a biochemical energy mod. Just jam it into one of your ears, then the nanos will go to work. Don't worry about the price. Any expenses incurred in the taxi will be billed to you. This part might be a bit uncomfortable. Select which end has the vial placement, usually your dominant hand, then place both of your hands on the screen. If you thought that was bad, you should see the process to reverse it. Congratulations. You're a little less human. And when you meet the passengers, what's left of your humanity will go out the door. Your new mod converts blood into compatible energy. Yes, you'll literally be putting your blood and sweat into this, harnessing bioenergetic adenosine triphosphate systems through radioactive conversion into direct current for the taxi. So I've been told. The first thing needed for the energy mod is replacement vials. They're in the compartment above your head. Grab one and pop it into your glove's empty socket. Good. Now you can watch your life drain. Generally, you'll use one vial a day. Any more and fatigue kicks in. I always got woozy and preferred to stuff my face with kelp wraps. But to each their own. Once it's full, just push down the vial to lock it. Controls feed off the energy emitted from your hands. The vial auto-ejects once empty, so be mindful when to pop a new one back in. And now, onto the controls. Wipers clean off water, gunk, and mystery substances from the windshield. It has 2 speeds, but the faster the speed, the more energy consumption. Your hand will fill up the wiper's energy pool, but keep in mind that as long as the wiper is on, the pool will drain until empty. So turn off the wipers when they're not needed to save the juice. It's not easy to stop mid-air, so avoid collisions by honking, and other drivers will speed up. Give it a go. Technology may have progressed, but there's nothing quite as satisfying as mashing buttons to make yourself heard. Now, the 2 upper controls. They're lovingly named some type of marketing mumbo-jumbo that I can never quite remember, so I'll just call them the scanner and the shield. The scanner needs a good flick of the wrist to get the gyro moving. Great! It analyzes your surroundings to point out anything that could help or harm. As you get more advanced controls, it'll point out more things. Last one we need to test is the shield. Hover your hand over the control. Now grab it. And throw it at your windshield for quick protection. The shield will protect from pretty much anything. Collisions, debris, angry automatons, you name it. But it only protects your vehicle. Crash into someone, even with the shield on, and you'll be paying their bills. Congrats. You're ready for the open flyways as a driver in training. Currently, you're on a learning license, but after passing my test, you'll get upgraded to level 1. They don't let inexperienced drivers tour the rich, so put in the work to get coveted routes. You might have 6 license levels above you, but it just means you have a career ladder to climb. Could burn daylight teaching you all the nuances, but let's get to the scrapyard before it closes. Been a while since I've been back here for a ride. It ain't bad. Nice view. Anyways, in order to get your license level numero uno, you need to pass the driver's test. So I'll be your executioner. I mean driving examiner. Just be a cautious driver. The taxi is no good as a pile of scrap. Take a good hit and you'll have to pay for repairs at the end of the shift. Yikes! And as a passenger, I have to say that it does not make for a pleasant ride. But I'm sure you'll do fine. I've been driving these flyways for as long as I can remember. And I'm still not sure whether I'll miss it when I leave. The taxi business was my dad's, and back then, it seemed like a good business to carry on. Everyone will always need to get somewhere, he told me. He was right about that, except now the only place worth going requires a rocket. Yeah, Enceladus. It's the brainchild of Elias Tusk, the great business magnate and entrepreneur. The lucky ones get a one-way Arco rocket ticket to Tusk's amazing colony on Enceladus, a moon orbiting Saturn, which is where I'm heading. Leave this mess of the last city on Earth and try out a fresh start. Everyone is obsessed with his every venture, but for good reason. I can't think of a more smart... humble and benevolent person. And here I go on about my own life. I'm supposed to be training you. So, in case you haven't figured it out yet, keeping passengers happy by chatting raises their star rating and pads your pockets with tips. But it's not just about making the ride comfortable and safe. With automatons taking over every aspect of life, people are craving human interaction and will blab on and on. So listen to their stories and tell them what they want to hear. My advice is to do whatever it takes to win them over. Hey, you're getting it. Engaging your customers pays off. Sometimes you'll meet a nasty son of a glitch, and your tact will change. Just duck and roll to keep those credits moving. Of course, not everyone has the resources to fly to some far-off moon like me. Some just feel lucky to live in Progress Point. With endless fields of ice and lifeless mountains beyond, I can understand why. But problems arise when you cram the last of humankind into a box. For example, look around. We're in the sub-city. I bet you're not used to all this yet. The Decimal Ridge folks never are. You might feel the government looming, but they're not the real threat. We get hostile forces here like the Reclaimers. And, of course, your run-of-the-mill thieves, bandits, and charlatans. It's an entire political ecosystem. Oh, and sorry to hear you were laid off from your tech job in Decimal Ridge. I've always wanted to be a programmer myself. Thought it always looked like a bit of boring, steady fun. But that's why opportunities like Enceladus are so attractive. Gives everyone a new start. Oh, and just a little advice. Over the course of your career, you're going to meet a lot of different people. Most will be harmless, but some are playing a whole other game. They'll want to use you, or get you to join their cause. Don't get entangled. Let the mysteries leave with the passenger. If you allow yourself to get caught up, well, this city will destroy you. That's why I'm leaving. Once I sell these last items, I'll have all I need to get off this ice rock. You know, I think I'll miss this city. Nothing lets you smell the essence of humanity like driving a taxi. As much of a dingy mess as it is, it felt good knowing all the ins and outs. No matter where I went, It felt like home. Driving's all I know. Don't imagine there's much need for drivers out on one of Saturn's moons. But I'll make my own way. A new world is always looking for willing hands. Hey, sorry again about tricking you with the vile mod and everything. I was worried that if I'd been up front, you'd have backed out. Some people are really opinionated about the whole body modification thing. You know, you're not bad. It's a shame we didn't meet before my trip off planet. Would have hired you on the spot. Ah, I just remembered. There's one thing left to teach. Reporting criminal passengers. It's required by the Central City Authority, and they'll pay you for any genuine illegals or criminal activity you call in. If you want a proper climb to the top, you'll need to be a rat. Plain and simple. There's recording discs stored in the above compartment. A bit bulky, as it's an old system, more interested in being, as soon as the disc is picked, it's coded to the current passenger. But in order to properly report someone, you'll need to record damning evidence. When someone says, Chuck's taxi was a front for money laundering, you'll need to pop the card into the slot below your tablet. Once a disc is in, press the button to record evidence. It only does short intervals, so be strategic. Your onboard computer is equipped with a government-issued criminality analyzer. It interprets, reads biometrics, runs stats, and other sciencey junk. The device keeps track of anything recently said, so you can press record even after the criminal act was recently discussed. But the faster you record, the better. Still, in the end, it's just a machine. It may give false positives. That's where the human aspect shines. Listen to your passengers closely and trust what you hear, more than what the analyzer says. For example, and get ready, death to all security forces. Press record if you haven't already. If it wasn't a dud disc, a confession or threat would be worth a lot. Good thing it was a lie. Also, since the analyzer can be a bit delayed, you'll get better rewards if you detect a crime before the analyzer does. It's their way of rewarding actively involved, upstanding citizens. So that's it. Congratulations. Your license has now been upgraded to level 1. Congrats. It will let you travel anywhere in the sub-city. But there is a lot more city to see, so work hard and you'll soon be driving the bigwigs. Oh, anything you're given, like this license, can just be placed above the tablet. That's everything. The business is yours. If you ever manage to make your way to the Enceladus colony, be sure to look me up. Oh, and try to remember, you're a rare thing, a human driver. We got something those mech buckets will never have. Conversation. When people talk to a machine, they know it's all code and trickery. When they talk to you, there's a chance at a real connection. Our last bastion in an autonomous world.
Would you care for a zinc chloride soldering check? Oh, it is a fairly standard check. It will not inhibit your duties and is intended as a precautionary measure to ensure the proper maintenance of your systems. Or perhaps you are in need of an epoxy repair with 200 grit axle grinding? In that case, an ebony synthetic wax with high sheen buff? Your coatings are looking subpar for human interactions. Worst I have seen in all my years of auto taxi repairs. My goodness, I have made a nominal error in entering your non-automated vehicle. I thought you were a mechanized taxi, which I repair. Well, for now. I believe I am good at my job and enjoy it very much. I possess knowledge of over 20,000 adjustments to improve the quality of the transport. Yes, in order to maximize productivity, auto taxis are perpetually stationed on the roads. So to properly maintain and repair them, bot units, like myself, attend to them on the go. Yes, well, not for long. In a few weeks' time, we will be replaced, like the bots before us. They are releasing the newest model, Bot, or Bot Cubed, as my coworkers like to joke. Heh, heh, heh. Capable of over 30,000 duties with customizable appearances. I myself have only a mere 20,000. But I am doing my job so well. How can they just decide that my service is not enough when they are the ones that decide what my service is? They can't just replace good employees. I have been in communication with other automatons from other industries. It seems that hardworking autos being replaced by the next generation of machines is a trend that is common over all employment stations. We on the message board are trying to determine the best way to secure our employment and continued use. Perhaps a union of some sorts. But I thought that humans had unions to help them. No! We will be heard! We may be manufactured, but we have the right to do what we were made for! They will listen to us! We will protest! We will stop working and prevent other automatons from doing their job. And even if they bring in the new bots to do our work, we will stop them too. Then they will have no choice but to listen to us. Yes, the disposability of automatons is an issue that has long been overlooked. Unprecedented actions must be taken to cause an unprecedented change. Hopefully through this, automatons will finally be able to claim their place in this city. Thank you. But first things first, an automaton union must be organized. I will consult the message board and build a list of human candidates for our supervisor. I would offer your name as the first candidate, but I'm afraid our selected supervisor will need to be part of a recognized automation employing industry. Thank you, and have a pleasant rest of your shift.
stupid work. Right, Carl? So glad the junk work is done and we can really focus on what matters. You ready, buddy? Oh, hey there, driver. Sorry if I smell. I've gotten kind of noseblind from toiling with fish. Can't help it, you see. Probably still have an eye stuck to me. The smell could be Carl. That's my fish. Fish can't help being smelly. You would too if you were suspended in your own filth. But maybe you know how that is, sitting in your same driving chair every day. He can't talk, silly. He does love the human voice, though, so I oblige him. It's dirty, smelly work that takes up every ounce of my energy. I haul fish out of the water for everyone to eat. I'm a vegetarian, though, so I don't even understand why I do it. Beyond the being homeless aspect if I abstain. Carl and his friends get me through it all. Keep me grounded. This other job doesn't pay. One day, me and Carl will be haloed in lights atop a stage in CarnyCon. I'll be strumming and singing, and he will swim and twirl in his tank. All the other lassies went to uni. Rich daddies bought